Just looking at my son's breathing, where his breath is reaching in his body, how his lungs are expanding and contracting, where there are parts that are held. And I'm encouraging him to relax, allow his breath just to be normal, just so I can observe. Get to know your family's breathing, their natural rhythms. I'm mixing with some oil, some eucalyptus, which has a real affinity with the lungs and really helps boost the immune system. And I'm going to gently place my hands on Mortz's back and really feel what's going along underneath my fingers in his lung area. And there are two key areas whilst working on the back. One around this hub area here, really important with the coronavirus at the moment, this last cervical vertebra, so where a necklace would lie on a person. So at the base of the neck and the start of the thorax. The other next area is this area down here, the lower dantian. This is a really key energetic area that we're going to be looking at with the COVID-19 virus and what to do about it. There's an area here which has some importance too, which is your lungs, your lung area, your heart area. So this point here is a point which really helps release the exterior. So from my medicine, that really helps a pathogen or an illness from really getting hold in the body. It helps the body push the pathogen out. So this is a really key area to be helping stimulating the lungs and what we call the Wei Qi, which is the defensive qi in the body, to keep it strong enough to fight off any infection. Now the COVID-19 virus is incredibly contagious and it's a very strong virus. So the likelihood is, if you've been in a strong contact with it, no amount of work around this point here, which is Du14 in acupuncture points, will actually be able to stop the pathogen in its entirety being able to penetrate. It really depends, the effectiveness of that really depends on the constitution of the person who has contracted it. So when we're looking at the old or elderly, then this point here is definitely worth considering using in order to help boost immunity and to help the pathogen from not getting such a ready hold on the body. But the likelihood is that it will go into a deeper level of the body and start disturbing first the channels and the qi, and then deeper the organ systems. But it definitely would be my first go-to point, Du14, in order to make sure that you release the exterior. Now I'm using what's called a gua sha spoon. Well, it's just a Chinese soup spoon. You can use lots of different instruments for gua sha. I use stones and pebbles sometimes, kitchen soup spoons, absolutely fine. If you're working within your family, that's okay. Within our clinics, it's to do with hygiene, that we have to use certain materials so that we can properly clean from one patient to the next. But So if someone is being exposed or is likely to have been exposed or is coming down with a cold or you don't know quite what it is, then this do 14 point is really powerful. So I'm going to put my finger on the vertebra because I don't want to scrape the vertebra itself. And I'm going to work my way with short movements around the edge of the vertebra. So I'm not scraping down the spine, I'm not scraping anywhere that is bony. I'm just moving with quite quick movements in a star shape around. And there might be a little bit of heat that comes out, a little bit of redness that comes out. And if you do this for several times a day, if someone's getting really unwell, just to release the heat, take a fever down and release the exterior, just help build the immunity. And you can do that at home with a super spoon or a stone or a pebble. Us Cornish folk will easily get a pebble from the beach. And just moving it in all directions, but making sure that you're not scraping the spinous process. And that just takes heat out of the body, boosts the immune system, and boosts the Wei Qi, the defensive Qi of your body. Releases heat. The next part of the body that we'll look at is this lung area. Now COVID-19 is definitely a disease process a pathogen process that dysregulates the lungs and the lung energy. And so this is the area that I would be working on in strengthening. Now at home, the way that you could strengthen it is by using some essential oils which have an affinity with the lung area. I use a different range of things from frankincense to eucalyptus to spearmint, all to really stimulate the lung qi and to really help support it in being functional. So the other thing that you can do is really just stimulate the area with your hands, with massage. All of this area, just encourage it just to move, to relax, to stimulate, to deepen the breath, so the diaphragm, the tops of the lungs and the top of the shoulders, and just working your hands around the shoulders, this big old scapula that protects the lung energy and the heart energy. And just saying to that person, relax, let your lungs function in the way that they should, which is in a downward movement. Which brings us to this energetic area here, which is the lower dantian. This is a big energetic area, a battery pack for the body. And the lungs have a huge affinity with this area. So we call this a kind of the area that is related to kidney energy, to water energy. And this energy here, up here, that we've just been talking about, the lung energy, to metal. So this energy here really needs this energy to be strong, to allow the lungs to bring down the air and for the kidneys energy to really grasp the lung energy and allow you a deepened breath. So when this battery pack area is run down, which is often seen in our elderly who are coming to the ends of their lives, or the latter ends of their lives, and this pot here, this battery pack, this constitutional strength, this essence of life, is becoming less. There's less in that pot. There's less to be able to draw this lung qi down to the kidney area. So this is the area I'd also be really wanting to support, this kidney qi. So on the back, you can move your hands down. But this energy here really just needs supporting, needs supplementing. So with your hands, really feel about placing in, not taking out. By giving something, some support And notice the depth of the breath. So you can massage this area down here, this water energy, this kidney energy, this battery pack energy. But this area here could also do with just some support. And you can put on children, my children often wear these bands that go from about here to here, elasticated cotton bands that keep this whole area lovely and warm. So if they are playing or if they're climbing, this area doesn't get exposed by their jackets or their jumpers being pulled up. And what it does is it allows this kidney area, this energetic area, to retain its energy, and the kidneys really like being warm to keep their energy in. So it allows the trapped warm air that the body has produced to go back into the kidneys. So that's a really good idea, is just to protect that whole kidney area. Or if you've got a silk scarf, that's another possibility to just really keep that area nice and warm, to protect that battery pack. Keep out of drafts. Put a blanket around the elderly, around that area. Just tuck them in, make sure that area is not exposed. Now for a pathogen to really take hold, then what it tends to do is it takes hold in the upper part of the body. So really protecting away from drafts, keeping warm with the spring air that's coming through and the winds that are coming through. So keeping a scarf, keeping this area nice and covered, not exposing your chest too much, your top of your head, wearing a hat. And just really protecting your lung energy, this energy here to keep your immune system strong. And just think about this battery pack and supporting it with some warmth, keeping it away from drafts.